So, for the past few years that I've been living, I've had my fair share of cat interactions. Most of the time, it was like my cousin's stray cat or like a random cat on the street. But what I'm about to tell you is the most interactive I've ever been with cats. Not because it was cute, but because it needed our help. June 17, 2026, middle of summer. I was just wrapping up with tuition when my mom broke the news. For a few days prior, she kept noticing a stray cat coming to our house. But when she checked on the cat that day, she noticed something. Blood was coming out, and right there was a kitten. It had only been the first of many, but for the meantime, my mom gave her a nice cardboard box to lay in while she healed. When I came home, there were already 3 baby kittens still sleeping, obviously. My mom put in our old clothes so they could lay on soft ground. But the mom wasn't over yet. By the next day, there were 5 kittens, 3 black, 2 tabby. This would be the final litter of cats. Over the few days, I kept looking over the cats, trying to soak up the feeling of adopting. One day, I saw the mom cat eat the kitten's umbilical cord, which was definitely weird. But over the weeks, nothing much happened. The kittens grew up like normal. The mom would sometimes try getting in, but nothing too much. It was July 4th now. Americans were celebrating the 250th birthday of America, and by this time the cats started learning their new skills. It was also by this time their eyes would start opening, and also when they'd start learning to walk. Now, school was starting, which meant less kitten watching. But with my limited time, I was still able to see them develop when coming home. One morning, however, there was an unexpected visitor, an intruder, if you may. Now, before we get into this, I need you to get the full picture. First, we keep the cats outside the house so the mom doesn't decide that she wants to be adopted. Second, that also means the mom's cat food and cat water are outside. Now with that, I think you could tell what happened. Yes, the intruder decided that the mom's cat food was delicious and decided to eat all of it with a sip of water. We watched it eat the food like it owned the place. Without even thanking us, it instantly left with no traces, except the picture that I have of it. Don't worry though, we were able to feed the mom cat still, just that it had to be cold since the cat was hungry. Cats these days are so unmindful, huh? Anyways, let's get back to our little ones. The kittens started to learn how to climb out. They started hanging on with their cute little paws. It was clear they wanted out, and so we negotiated. After a few weeks of only cat watching, I had finally gathered up my courage to grab the kittens. It was always a Sunday. Mom would let the kittens out and I'd pet them. I even started holding them up, which was surprising considering my record of screaming when a cat brushed by me. However, holding a kitten is weird. When I first did it, I felt everything. I could feel their heartbeats, their delicate little bodies, and their leg bones protruding out. I think I could feel what that's like. By now, it was around the middle of July when yet another visitor joined the party. Thankfully, it wasn't the bad intruder cat we saw earlier. Rather, it was also a kitten. We don't know where it came from, though. Likely someone saw the injured kitten and thought it was part of the litter. Did you catch that? Injured. Yeah, that's right, the kitten was injured. Maybe. What disease? An eye disease. One eye was smaller and it looked as if it was infected. It was all up to the mother. She accepted the new litter. Well, the next day, the kitten was gone. Yeah, the mother cat was definitely unpleased about the new kitten. So, we could say goodbye to the kitten. And then Sunday came, and then the 6th kitten arrived with a... Okay, wait. Apparently, It also had an owner, which thank God meant it had a home. But the owner would have to come a little later to pick it up. So for an hour or two, the kitten was just enjoying the new location. That Sunday, my brother joined and he was also able to pet a bunch of cats and carefully grab a cat while holding it like it was an object dangling by a crane. Yeah, that was not safe. Even I feel like I'm holding it wrong. Am I not supposed to wrap my hand around the body like a burrito? Because the cats kept wiggling their hands like it was the first time on their plane. Well, whatever. Now, it was July 21st, and something absolutely devastating happened. It happened around 7 to 8 a.m., and I can explain everything in detail. The day was a Tuesday, which meant a 10-hour school day for me, but that was the least of my problems. Before going, we took a quick peek at the kittens. My dad counted 5, and so we waved goodbye and went. The ride was smooth, an ordinary ride. Everything was going fine. This time, I didn't forget to bring anything. I didn't forget any homework. It was a good day, so I thought. In the middle of the ride, though, we heard a familiar voice, a sort of meowing voice. We were late, but my dad figured to check outside. Nothing was there, and suddenly the sound stopped, so we kept driving. It wasn't until a few hours passed before the news broke out from my dad. I will leave the exact message for you. Suddenly, the lighthearted moments we shared turned into a moment in time, a memory, never to happen again. We still had 4 kittens on the bright side, but that day would change everything in the future. My family was devastated. We kept searching and searching, but all my theories didn't add up. And so that day, it went missing. I decided to name the missing kitten Hope. It was a fitting name for the tragedy. Something to tell you to not give up. Something to tell you to keep trying. Something to tell you to hope. It was July 23rd, a Thursday, only 2 days since the incident. That's when my mom delivered some good news. A security guard saw a similar kitten roam around the nearby food court. It was at the parking lot behind it. We instantly went there. I searched under every car. Nothing. We searched even further, but again, we saw nothing. We had also seen other stray cats and kittens. It's really a sad world they are living in, but I just hope each and every kitten and cat gets a loving new home. We will never stop searching for you. Even if we can't find it, all we could do was hope. It was July 24th, and as the date suggests, the kittens were also wilding out 24/7. They had started being able to get their paws on the edge of the taller walls, which was surprising. Kittens really grow fast, am I right? A few days passing, how do I tell you this? The mother cat got addicted to chips. Yes, that sounds ridiculous. It sounds just as ridiculous to me, but the cat just can't get over that heavenly smell of chips and that golden crunch. I gave her some and she ate it in a few seconds just to come back meowing for more. No cat, you have eaten more chips than the recommended dose of cats for life. About a day or later, however, they get a new quality of life upgrade, an accidental one. On July 27th, a friend was coming shortly to check on the cats. That's when we noticed something different. There was a tunnel, and when asking my mom, she said the kittens made it themselves. Yeah, wow. But hey, they seem to be enjoying it. It's like their house when there's rain. That they also saw the rise of the Parkour Kitten. Yeah, the cat knew how to jump and kind of break my mom's shop appliances, so we put it back in. Then it could actually jump out, and we put it back in a few seconds he jumped out. Okay, how is this possible? The next day, I would let the kittens out briefly, and they were ready to fight. When I tell you they were all brawling, I'm not kidding. It was probably playful, but I'll have to admit it was definitely entertaining though. Of course, there was that one kitten that wanted to catch the swing mom's tail in the midst of it. Little did I know, it would have been the day before the storm. It was yet another normal day. In fact, I had made sure it was a normal day. I had made sure each thing was in order so my dad didn't have to waste his time by grabbing my books, but that's not the point. Before we continue, let me get you caught up first. Do you remember Hope? The cat that went missing? I had just woken up, ready to start my day, but then my mom instantly broke the news. July 29, at midnight, something happened. Someone took the box with all the kittens in it. Only one could escape, going under the car for shelter. Mom cat returned at 9 a.m. that day. It's unknown if she tried chasing the person or just doing her normal hunting, but now, if you're going to our house, there will only be one black kitten left. It's a tragedy, isn't it? For just a few hours, something that took over a month to build was almost all gone. All the fights, all the interactions, it would all be ending this day. Now, there are no more kittens to fight, no more interactions. It was all missing. I'd like to take a short moment to give silence for the mother. Imagine coming home, probably from hunting, only to see one of your babies left. I know, it's not a very good feeling to be going back to. For all the other kittens, thank you for providing entertainment to us. Your lively fights, attempts to jump out the box, it was all a moment I could not thank enough for. Thank you. For the one kitten remaining, I really hope you get to stay. I hope you can stay with us as long as possible. I hope you're okay, and I hope you don't end up like the others, lost. Or so we thought. Hours after the incident, my mom was working as usual when she heard a sound, a surprising one, a sound that gave everyone just a little extra hope. It was another kitten, a black one specifically. Of course, it was good news to be hearing after the tragedy, and even meant we could see the two fighting again. But at the end of the day, was it really a win? Well, it's a step in the right direction. That day, of course, there was no more box to keep the kittens. And although we did have a lot of boxes, it wasn't gonna stop the kittens from jumping out again. So we decided to scrap the boxes and decide to just block off the way in. It worked like a magic. Now they could have more space and they couldn't jump over like they could before. The next day or two, we expanded the area again. When I say expand, we didn't mean like a small bit. We had almost doubled the area. Okay, maybe we should stop expanding. And with that, capped off the month of July, which would mean one thing. Time was running out. Now if we do the math, they would turn 8 weeks by August 9th, very early in August. This would mean this could be potentially the final stage. They have really grown a lot. I still remember when their eyes first opened, when I first touched them, and now they have almost finished growing. Somehow they even outpaced me when running. Maybe you should stop flexing, kittens. Just like that, August 9th came. And with that, all the kittens finally turned 8 weeks. When asking my mom if we could keep them one last time, she finally landed on her verdict. She explained how we couldn't keep the kittens, especially with how much lice they have. In fact, the mother's cat's lice has been stinging me. I thought I had plot armor, but I guess the lice don't care. Okay, we're going off track. She still has to inform dad and the family, but we'll be keeping the kittens for longer to ensure when we release them, they can fend off on their own. It's sad for sure, but we're just trying to find the best option for both us and the kittens, and this is it. So, we're entering the final stage. Over the days in August, my time with my furry friends has been limited. Most of it either spent bedridden or at the hospital. Yes, I was sick if it wasn't obvious enough. But by the time I had started recovering, time was over. And on August 18th, 9:40 a.m., we let them go. It really was a beautiful journey. These cats really have been the center of my attention ever since they have been born. For the entire summer, I've been looking over, playing with these cats and watching them grow, trying to form a deeper understanding of them. And I think I have. To all the kittens, whether we're still out here or out in the vast world, I hope wherever you are, you all stay safe. Life really is a blessing. Hi, looks like you made it far enough to reach the ending of the video, which means you enjoyed the video. By the way, only subscribe if you like daily stories. I won't post videos often, unless this video hits 100,000 views, of course. Anyways, let's talk about the aftermath. The friends mentioned in the video, friend, was able to find the cats again. We're doing well. Currently, the mother cat is staying near our house with the intruder cat. I guess they became friends somehow. Whatever, that's it. Okay, you can click off now, bye.